Hey guys, it's Ethan, and I'm just making a quick update, hopefully. Um, I finally have a hysterectomy date set. June 20th is my date, and I'll be having that in Seattle. Yeah, um, it's covered by my insurance. There's a few things I will have to pay out of pocket up front. Well, at least to meet my deductible, and then after that, it's it's covered. Um, So yeah, I feel relieved to have that set finally. It's been a lot of back and forth over the last like 3 months. At least like initially getting a consultation and then actually trying to set a date. Yeah, it's just been kind of a struggle. Um, and they originally were going to try to get me in May 10th, but I guess that didn't end up working out in the surgery schedule. So um, yeah, I had to wait another month and change. So yeah, so June 10th. Um, yeah, like I said, I feel really relieved about having a date. But yeah, I'm a little unhappy with how much closer it'll be to phalloplasty. The required time is a 3 month window between surgery, or between hysterectomy and phalloplasty, um, which will still make, but I was kind of hoping to have a little more time than 3 months. Um, I don't know. I just wanted enough, like more time to heal. Maybe I'm overthinking it or being paranoid, but yeah, I don't know. It just felt better to me to have a bigger gap of time between surgeries. So I'm a little nervous about that, but overall, happy to finally have a date set. And yeah, it feels like there's some real movement finally happening. Like this has just been such a struggle and in the works for a long time. I mean, I officially started interacting with Dr. Crane's office back in October, um, and there's been a lot of back and forth there too. Um, but yeah, and then just trying to get things set up with hysterectomy and like having to get two therapist letters and ended up having to get a letter from my primary care provider as well. Yeah, it all worked out, and but yeah, it is a heck of a process. Yeah, so that's kind of where I'm at, and also my insurance case manager and Dr. Crane's office have been working together, and they finally got all the paperwork together that they need to submit for a prior authorization for Dr. Crane to be considered in network for me. My insurance would cover him as out of network, but that only covers 50% of um, the procedure, and only things that my insurance would cover. They would cover 50% of it, so it wouldn't be like a straight 50% of the whole entire procedure um, if it's out of network. So they submitted the paperwork at the end of last week, and the insurance company has 2 weeks to respond. So I should know something in the next couple weeks um, as to whether Crane will be considered in network. Um, yeah, I mean the price difference is ridiculous. Um, and if he's in network, because I'll be having my hysterectomy, I will admit my met my deductible for the year, so I won't have to do that. It would just be paying for like travel expenses out of pocket, and I think a couple other things out of pocket. But it would be way less than what I would end up paying if he's considered out of network. Um, so yeah, now, well, it's back to waiting, I guess. I've been waiting a lot, but more waiting, but in a good way. Like there's actually a time frame. This is the first time I feel like I've had a set time frame from somebody, and yeah, they only have 2 weeks to decide. Um, so yeah, so I should know something, and at that point, I'm gonna have to make some decisions as to um, what I need to do, um, whether I need to try to consider paying a lot for this surgery or trying to leave my job and get a new job so I can switch health insurance. I don't know. I'm gonna have to wait and see. A lot could be up in the air, or everything could be fixed, or not fixed, but there could be a solution in 2 weeks. Um, yeah, I would certainly help me rest a lot easier if I knew one way or the other at this point. And so yeah, so that'll help. So yeah, some things are just coming together right now, and I feel really good about that and excited, and also nervous now that hysterectomy is around the corner. I'm not a big fan of surgery, so the fact that I'm willing to put myself through 2, 3, 4 possible more surgeries is testament to the fact of how much I need that to happen. Um, so yeah, so I'm kind of trying to mentally prepare myself these next couple months for my hysterectomy. Yeah, yeah, I think that's pretty much it. The only other thing, and it's totally unrelated to surgery, is, and I made a video a while back about online dating. Yeah, it has gotten a little better. I went on a few dates with one girl. Um, really liked her, and she was really cool with me being trans. We talked about that up front before we even met, and that was fine. But yeah, I don't know. We went on 3 dates, and I think maybe there wasn't just a lot of chemistry there. But I liked her. We got along well. Um, yeah, and I kind of, well, yeah. So it's kind of my decision to not continue going on dates with her. Yeah, and then I am actually have gone on a couple dates with another girl that I really like, and she is also okay with the trans thing. We talked about that up front. Um, yeah, and she has a little more education around it. She has some friends who are trans, and she has very briefly dated a trans guy before, so um, that helps me feel a little more comfortable. Um, but yeah, I don't know. I'm excited that things are getting a little better on the dating front. Um, but also, and that kind of does wrap into surgery. With hysterectomy coming up and then phalloplasty in October, hopefully. I've started to debate whether right now is a good time to be dating. Um, I just remember going through top surgery, and my partner and I had just started dating a couple months before that, and it was great. Don't get me wrong; it was really great to have her there, and I think she really adapted to my surgery and being a caretaker. And it also helped that we had been friends for like 3 years before we started dating, so she probably would have been there anyway. But yeah, I guess my concerns are I wouldn't want anybody to feel like I'm seeking a built-in caretaker for my surgeries. Um, and I wouldn't ask that of anybody to like, that's a lot to ask to somebody you just met. Like, I don't know this girl like I knew my last partner. She seems cool, and I have mentioned a hysterectomy in the summer. So it's kind of on her radar, but I haven't really talked to her, and I don't think probably if we start talking about anything serious, I would certainly bring it up and discuss the reality of things with her. Um, but yeah, in terms of like dating overall, I'm considering probably taking down my profile. Um, and as much fun as it's been, and not fun at times, I don't know. I just think maybe it might be a good idea to shelve it for a little while. Um, yeah, I just feel like I'm gonna be very me focused for the rest of this year, really, and that's not really fair to a partner that you're trying to start a relationship with. So, yeah, I don't know. I have some mixed feelings about it. I'd be happy to hear from other people what their experiences have been. Um, so, yeah, I don't know. Anyway, that's my update, and yeah, I think that's about it. Okay, take care, everybody.